What's up?
Watch out!
What up?
Welcome to the Scary Corner. I am the Pumpkin Spice. Give it up for your favorite cousin Neil.
Hello.
And also give it up for your homemade bass. Give it up for the world-renowned Beetlejuice. I just said his name. Beetlejuice, aka the Hitman. Oh, hell yeah.
Bingo jizz.
Beetlejuice. We're here today to review Beetlejuice. Or
Beetlejuice.
Oh, what's it called? Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice.
What's his actual name? It's spelled differently.
Yeah, same thing, just spelled weird.
It's just
Beelzebub.
What is your first impression of the movie, starting with Cousin Neil?
Beetlejuice. Let's see. When the movie came out, I'm looking it up.
1988.
Okay, so I remember I watched it on TV.
I was 2 years old.
Yeah, and I was really young. So to be honest, I didn't even know it was about death. I didn't even know it was about ghosts, right? I thought it was just these weird people. It was kind of funny. I don't know if they had a special going on cable, but I saw Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands. They were having like a Tim Burton type of thing. So, I saw his art style, or whatever, Tim Burton style. And I thought they all were kind of similar. I think I was too young to understand exactly what was happening, especially with Beetlejuice. But no, it was really stylized, and I just remember the song, Banana Song, or whatever it's called. But as I grew older, yeah, the movie's fun. It's nice, good Tim Burton fun movie. I enjoy it.
How about you, Mr. Bass? Whose first takes on this beautiful masterpiece of a movie?
Oh, I loved it. It kind of reminded me of Honey and Shrunk the Kids a little bit. Because some of the movie.
Because they're wearing plaid, the main dudes.
Yeah, but other than that, Winona Ryder's great. I loved her. And yeah. I love her.
Senor Beetlejuice?
I was born at the very end of the year this movie was made. So I was a wee lad when I first saw it, and it's stuck in my memories for better or worse, and I think that's because I saw the cartoons. I saw the movie.
I remember the cartoon.
I loved the movie. I loved the sound, the music, but I remember the cartoon left an impression. Something about cartoons for movies stuck with me better. I liked how they explored the more mundane aspects of the grandiose heroes, the Aladdin cartoon, freaking banger. Hercules, all that stuff stuck with me more so than the movies. But Beetlejuice laid the groundwork, and it was fantastic, and it freaking holds up. Maybe not necessarily what you intended for it to, but it does.
Yeah, also, for the longest time, I didn't know it was Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. Well, when I was a kid, all I knew Michael Keaton was from Batman.
Which was the very next year, I think, right? Oh, no, that was Clooney's Batman, wasn't it?
No,
that was him.
Yeah,
it was
really hit it off.
Yeah. Those Batman Returns, right?
No, both. Batman and
Batman came in 1989.
I think it's Batman Returns a refrigerator he bought at Best Buy. And then he goes and he's like, I have a receipt.
I don't want this no more.
Alfred, pull out the receipt.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm terribly sorry. I haven't got the receipt.
I took the liberty of laminating your receipt, sir.
Fantastic movie. All right. What did you think of the movie, Senior Pumpkin Spice SMB?
Did it hold up? Yeah, looking back now, it didn't have enough juice for me.
Too much people, not enough juice.
Exactly.
I mean, you know what? The main character was only in it for 20 minutes, to be fair.
There you go. Yeah.
And it was a pretty...
But which ones are the main characters, though? That's what I mean. They all share the side quests of all that. So, how about let's say we get into these bad boy.
Let's say Deo.
So the year is 1988, and Timothy Walter Burton released a movie called Beetlejuice, aka Beetlejuice, on March 30th, 1988. Mr. B wanted Sammy Davis Jr. to be the Juice Man.
Yeah.
But the studios wanted Dudley Moore or Sam Kinison. But Jeffen, the actual producer, wanted Keaton. So they went with Keaton. Burton is 10. Yeah, go ahead.
Geffen worked on some bangers before that too, right?
Yes. No idea.
It's escaping me, but they were a well-known producer at that point. I want to go to an alternate universe where Sammy Davis was Beetlejuice. It was like in his 60s at that point.
Yeah, the real dancing too.
Freaking Rat Pack over there. Hey, ma! I'm a Beetlejuice. Like, I couldn't see it. It'd be interesting.
Pretty cool, man.
But I couldn't not see Keaton in that role, you know? Sorry, continue.
It's okay.
Wait, they really wanted Sammy Davis Jr.? He was like 80.
That was their first.
The heck?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, sorry. No, I got my... He died in 1990. He was 64. Okay, I might be wrong.
Probably not even 2 years later. Probably more.
It's Burton's attention to make the style similar to the B movies he grew up watching as a child. So I wanted to make them look cheap and purposely fake looking. Is that a cop out, or is it just in case? Like, oh no, I intentionally made it look this bad.
Is that what Tim said?
Yeah, that's what he said.
What movie did he make right before that? He made
he was in
Pee-wee's Great Adventure.
Pee-wee's Great Adventure. His budget was like not like way up there. I think it was like 10 million or something. So
sorry, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah. So they decided
I thought it was Pee-wee's Big Wee Wee in the theater adventure that he got exploded for exposing himself.
Hey, it's all about exposure.
Whether it be good or whether it be bad.
Oh my goodness.
It depends on the lighting, I guess.
I mean, did he hurt anyone? No. Just let him be.
It depends if your light's out or not.
Sheesh.
You probably put somebody's popcorn.
Hey, popcorn, you want to get a little nugget in here? Aye.
Oh, no.
Hey, let it in your popcorn! Oh boy!
Oh boy, here we go again! Into the weeds we go!
The word of the day is ejaculate! Ah!
Especially when you put the hot butter on it.
I know what you are, but what am I?
Tequila. Anyways, guys.
Back on track.
God damn, Pee-wee. Go on.
Dude, that bike looks sick though, man. With the lion head and the red thing, the turbo, the little flags. Can't go out bad without the flags, man. So Warner Brothers disliked the title name Beetlejuice and wanted to call the film House Ghost.
Yeah, that's right.
House of Ghosts.
And then Tim Burton, who was not at all their first choice for director, but he had connections. He said, "Fine, why don't we just call it? What did you want to call it?
Scare Sheetless.
Lost my sheets.
You want to call it Scare Sheetless?
Scare Sheetless." And they were like, "Yeah, that's a good idea."
Yeah, then I was horrified to start actually consider using it. It's like, wait, what? No, I was playing around.
Oh, since we're looking up we're talking about random silly trivia about this movie. Editors freaking put up the Japanese VHS box of this movie because it is bonkers as F.
I'm gonna look at that right now.
Oh my god, dude, it looks like a 1989 Trapper Keeper.
Check it right here when it's gonna pop up later.
It's hilarious. Like all the other covers across the board were the same one, except for I don't know, like Germany or some shit, where it looks genuinely scary because the original script was supposed to be like Exorcist.
Yeah.
Where he straight up kills the living family to get rid of them.
He wanted to go off, but then Keaton said, "No, man, I wanted more cartoony."
Yeah, I'll use this voice. Can't do that when I'm killing people. This is weird.
So yeah, the missed opportunity with Beetlejuice Goes to Hawaii. That was supposed to be part 2, and it got canned.
Really?
Yeah.
The directors were saying, "Nah, man. Like, I feel like everything was said in part 1. We don't need to continue it."
But
Wise choice. Hot take.
So, with that being said, let's get into it. How does it start? I feel like it starts with like all the 90s movies with flyovers of towns and shit. Like we've seen it in Hocus Pocus, we've seen it in The Crow, we've seen it now in this movie. What else? What other movie you think starts with a flyover?
Yeah, like all of them. That's just a thing they do.
Now we get badass flyovers with drones that we have, 4Ks and 8Ks and all that, shooting people.
However, that whole house, the bridge, the church, all that was just, they set it up in that town specifically for the filming. And then they tore it down for, when the filming was over. And the townspeople were all excited to be a part of this movie.
And then out of nowhere, the slowest fucking dog just crossing the street. And they go, "Ah! Watch out!" Instead of hitting the brakes nice and calmly, no, she's like right into the freaking what's it called, the lake, into the dog's like, "Please don't get off." The dog jumps off and he goes,
Tension.
Then the dog turns around and he's like, "Ha! Got it!"
So a couple of minutes later, we see the couple return to their house soaking wet. They're like, "Oh, I think we're okay." He's like, "Yeah, let me get my stuff." They open the front door and Adam goes through and he falls into the sand pits.
No, he goes into the place from Moon Knight.
No,
Yeah,
the fields of reeds. What's it called? When they turn to stone, like.
Yeah. By the way, real quick, I want to use this opportunity because they're straight up in purgatory, right?
Yes.
I want to use this opportunity to tell the best joke ever.
Oh, there we go. Set it up.
And it's the best joke. It works in every language.
What?
Okay, so where do cats go when they die?
I don't know where.
Purgatory.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh my god.
Say it in Spanish. Say it in Spanish.
Purgatorio. El purgatorio.
It works in every language. It's incredible.
Wow.
All right. Go on.
In the picture, we see Barb and Adam.
Yeah, they acted fast.
We have Delilah and Charles Dietz are moving into the house. And we got the goth queen herself, Lydia Dietz. And Otho the eccentric. What the hell is Otho again? They open the closet and then Barb's like this hanging. And then they're like, "Oh, what is this?"
Because they're like,
"Oh,
it's so small." She's like,
and then she goes, "Ah!" She pops her freaking eyes out. And then the other one is with Adam with his head beheaded. He's like, "Boo!" And they're like, "Ah."
I liked it. I thought it was cute.
Lydia could see them because she's part of the underground goth people. She's like, "What is that?"
She's black sun hat wearing goth.
And in that instant, we get a commercial for the Beetle guys. He comes out on the TV, and Lydia's like, "Could see the glow of the TV, I guess."
Come on now, come on now.
Call the Beetle guys. It says, "Draw a door," and then we knock on it. He's like, "Okay." He's like, "Knock, knock." The door's open, and then Lydia sees the green undertone. And then we go into a waiting room full of dead people.
Oh, I love this. This is my favorite scene, or the whole sequence, is seeing the dead people. That's when it started to click with me. Like, okay,
something is amiss.
So we see a shrunken head guy.
I love him. He's just sitting right next to me. He's like,
And then we have what's that? Magician girl got cut in half. You know, one of her legs here and her body over there.
I like the flat dude, right?
Yeah. Oh, look, I'm feeling a little flat.
Yeah, he's on a conveyor or whatever.
That's funny because and then Adam gets off for a cig, you know, and he's like with this burn up guy. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm trying to cut off too." So burn up to Chris.
Isn't there also a whole football team?
That's later on. That's second time to go back.
Yeah, that's
down
freaking
there.
random. The whole Kansas City Chiefs lineup is there.
It's the DMV of the dead, of course, and then they travel down this cool looking highway just to go back home. They're there to meet their caseworker called Juno.
Juno.
And then our Juno's neck is like cut wide open because every time she's smoking it comes out. So Juno tells them to get rid of them by themselves and never say Beetlejuice. Call that guy. So they say Beetlejuice 3 times. And now they're inside of the model of the sign. And then they're what's the next to his grave? We're like, I thought he was out in the commercial. Now he's back inside the grave. Well, that was a bad.
We already filmed the commercial, man.
Oh, okay.
Chilling.
So they're like, what are we supposed to do now? He's like, let's dig him out. So they're like clonking, and then they finally get there, and he goes, "Hey, it's me, Beetlejuice. Come, thank you." And he puts on the routine. It's like, I'm being your friend. And then Barb calls out. So they're just trying to. They change their mind mid through the pitch. She's like, "Look, like, are you even scary?" And he goes, "Ah!" And all these snakes and things rattle.
What do you think?
He's like, I'll put this for later. And he throws it in. And I was like, oh, nasty. And she's like, oh, I think we should get a little close together and know each other more. And she's trying macking it on Barb and has a stick trying to look up her skirt. Like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, oh, what? Oh, nothing.
I remember seeing in his mouth, like that green crap all over it. Like, oh, so gross.
And that was Keaton's idea.
Oh, was it? Oh, wow.
All that, the mold around his head, the green hair, all that.
That's
Nice
horrifying.
It's showtime.
And then, you know, they changed their mind. So they said, we're out of here. Like, what do you say? They're like, home. So she goes home. So they're coming, you know, they invited the guests over. And they're like, oh my God, we got to get rid of these people. And he's like, all right, I have an idea. Anyways, fast forward, they're at the dinner table and they're like, so at the dinner table, all of a sudden we hear, right, banana, don't listen. The Lydia's mom starts singing, so everybody gets up around the table, start dancing. They're like, what the hell is going on, you know? They put on this whole number for us. And then they get you can see a lot of people with their gloves inside the shrimp, you know, it's like a shrimp glove. She's like, oh, he pushes everybody. And like, oh, great job, watch, we're gonna see them run out and then be scared out of their minds. And then any minute now. And they're like, well, what the fuck happened? And then Lydia comes like, hey, they want you to come down. They want to talk to you. It's like, what? Like, no.
You're supposed to be scary.
You're supposed to be scary. And then after that, what happens? They go up, they don't go say nothing, and then like Beetlejuice is like, all right, my turn. Dude, how did Charles fall the same height as Jeremy and he survived?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a very good
What do
question.
you mean that the house is only 2 stories?
So he was only standing on 2 books this time?
Jeremy, he was a child and he fell 4 stories.
Jeremy, back to Jeremy.
I would like to see the ratio. If you drop a Charles and a Jeremy at the same time, which way
We're
they
friends!
who bounces more? That's sad. Fucking Jeremy, man.
Yeah, but Beetlejuice is like the mask. Like, he doesn't go out to hurt anyone. But he has like his toon powers.
That's true. So they summon him back to say, they say Beetlejuice, and they bring him like, ah, crap, here we go, and he goes back. Like, oh, you're a Trump the Pro. During this the middle of this work, you suck. So I mean, during that instant, like, was he freed already? But then he got brought back, right?
It wasn't freed yet.
He wasn't free yet. Yeah.
He had to wed mortal.
No, I mean, to get out of that thing, because they say his name first, right? Barbara said it, and they left, and they forgot to close it, whatever they did. He comes out, did that, and then call him back to the thing.
Yeah, did they ever discuss what the rules are of Beetlejuice? I mean, do we know how he died? Or is he just...
He didn't die. They actually specifically steered away from an ending in which he died.
No, I mean, before he became Beetlejuice. Was he human before?
He said supposedly he killed himself.
Oh.
Throughout the movie, he actually mentions existing in at least two timelines, and Tim Burton himself was quoted as saying he existed and was alive through many different timelines. So Beetlejuice himself said, "I lived through the Black Plague." And that was
other stuff, yeah.
Him. But he also said that he was Harvard educated, which Harvard itself was not founded until the early 1900s, and the Black Plague was in the 1300s. So
that's crazy.
Century difference there.
So after that stunt that they pulled, they get summoned to Juno's office. Like, what have you guys done? And then Lydia's in her room. She's like, if you find this, I have to F myself. I jumped out the window. She's writing a suicide letter.
Oh, she's correcting herself. If you see this, if this finds its way to you.
She's trying to be political, like Grammarly and everything checked.
She's like, oh, what will be the most dramatic? Yeah,
She gets a thesaurus. Black kitten. No. Black tiger. Okay.
Sorry, no.
So back in Juno's office, we Juno's like, all right, it's time for you to get him out. So what do you got for me? So Adam transforms. You know, he does a whole hand to the head and the extended snout. That animation right there is pretty cool. You know.
Dude, that's straight up clay.
That's
just clay.
Oh yeah, it was claymation.
Like, all right, cool. You got a $15 million budget, and you use like $2 of it on freaking Play-Doh. Like, all right,
masonry.
But remember he just said it. Like he wants to make a B movie.
Yeah. So it's Play-Doh with their eyes in the middle. Like, all right, cool.
So one will have multi eyes in his eyes, and he has to look still to the glasses. Go like this, like ooh, it's scary. So Barbara like extends her mouth. She goes and she goes bloop in her mouth. Eyeballs in her mouth.
Eyeballs in her mouth. On her tongue.
Eyeballs on her tongue. Oh my goodness, that was scary for me. You guys got scared when you saw it the first time?
I don't remember. No, not really.
I don't think I ever got scared in Beetlejuice, except for I didn't get scared. Just freaked out when his hands came through that golf course, whatever thing. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, it was pretty much a comedy. Like, as a kid, it's like, oh, funny. He's like defying logic. Like, that's it. It's like cartoon stuff happening.
And then after that, back in the model. Because Lydia comes in looking for them, then he's like, they're gone. They're not coming back. He's like, what do you mean? Like, they're gone. He's like, I want to be with them. He's like, no, let's help each other, help you. Like, I help me, help you. It's like, okay, you have to say my name 3 times and get us out. Like, what's your name? Like, oh, I can't say my name. You got to say, let's play charades. So homie over here, like, it's like, all right, look behind you. He's like, what? It's a big-ass beetle. It's like, oh, beetle. And then she's like, okay, good. Second word. And like apple juice. She's like going through like, juice, like Beetlejuice. Like, yeah, he said it once, twice, and then in that instant we see Barbie and Adam are like having second thoughts about scaring the people. Like, you know what? I want to be with Lydia. I want to kick it with her. I don't want to be scaring them out no more. I think they had to change their heart. I'm like, what's up with these people, man? They go back and forth between that.
12-year-old child. Yeah, how is that simultaneously the way to summon him? And also the way to destroy him.
There's no off switch.
It's an on and off is what it is, basically.
Yes.
bring them forth, or you're like, oh, like bring them down, Lydia. It's like they don't want to come down. It's like, all right, well, there's got to be another way to bring them, and that's when we see like I have an idea. They bring the wedding gown and the suit, right?
Yeah.
And all to start saying the thing. It's just sad, man, seeing them like come back like this, like
Oh,
their hands like this, their hands like that. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. They're coming back to like, oh my god, what's happening to her face? And like they're getting old and wilting and breaking. And she's like, Adam's like,
well, I will do that to you. Go on.
I know, right? She's like, stop it, leave them alone, don't do that to them, they're dying. Like, oh, they're ghosts, they can't die again. And then like they looked at her in pain, and then and Lydia trying to help them, she makes a mistake, telling him like, all right, like the only way I'll help them is if you marry me. He's like, okay, fine, just help him. And she says, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And then what does Beetlejuice say, Base?
It's showtime.
It's showtime.
After that, we hear the he comes out like in the middle of the oh my god. He comes out with the thing, the little ducks going around him, and then like it looked like a carnival thing, the carousel. And all of a sudden, these little platforms arrive behind two of the guests, and then he whacks it with the hammer and go. Question: do they go to the sand, or they just go to outside where they died?
You know what? Smashing your head through a ceiling like that would probably snap your neck.
Probably. Maybe.
I was thinking that, but I was like, God, like that would kill you.
That's crazy, man.
As an expert in killing, I'm familiar with
the tacticians.
Fire hot, water wet.
Oh my goodness. So the statues come alive, and then the wedding guy is there. That's actually I forgot his name. Like he's a famous little person.
Stanley.
Yeah, him. He shows up. And he waddles through like a little demon thing guy, and then like, all right, it's time for the wedding. You see him all dressed up, and then Lydia has a cool red wedding gown. She's like, what's going on?
She don't get wet.
So Joffrey. So everybody's trying to Joffrey from marrying what's her name? The wolf girl. Anyways, Lydia. So they stop. What's it called? And they're like, Beetlejuice, and he's like, stop, and put a zipper on her, and he's like, Beetlejuice, and
that was cool.
The metal,
that was
like,
a cool part.
She can't say anything. He's like, okay, come on. Like, do you have the ring? He's like, oh, come on, where's the fucking ring? Like, they're looking for a ring. He's all panicky.
He gets sent back to Lego Town. And he's driving a tiny little Lego truck to get back to them.
Then after that, he hits him in the legs, like, ow! And then Beetlejuice disappears Barbara into the wilderness, into the sand pits. And then after the sand pits, worm comes out of the roof and goes through.
It eats him. It like bites on him and takes him back into purgatory. And then she's like, "Thanks, Moon Knight," and he's like, "No problem."
No problem.
So yeah, the juice man's in there.
The Khonshu.
And I'm pretty sure a couple of months later or a month later, we're like it's like a little Halloween Town vibe, It's like old girl, school girl. And he goes, I'm like, I guess Lydia gets adopted by the ghost. Yeah. Everybody's having fun, and then the Charles guy finally gets to relax when the big statue of the snake Beetlejuice comes out. He's like, ah, and he just dies. He's like, oh, I like it. And then like, oh, did you get an A in your test? He's like, yeah, I did. It's like, or B. It's like, oh, are we gonna do it? He's like, yeah, let's do it. And crit.
Check. Senora, shake your body, man. Work, senora. Work it all the time. That scene was supposed to be much darker, by the way. She was supposed to be dying in this part. And everyone around her, she was surrounded by all the dead.
Damn.
But, of course, Keaton and Tim Burton had a different approach.
That's
So
crazy.
it was lighthearted, thank God, because that song would just maybe not click
It
so
wouldn't
much.
have been as good, yeah.
If it was like sad, yeah. So Tim Burton and Michael Keaton hit it off, and that's the whole reason they worked together. They met and they were like, I don't know, should we do this? Like, neither one of them was supposed to be on this project. It's crazy how things like that line up. Because I couldn't see this movie without either one of them.
The wackiness from Burton and the Keaton's strong character. So,
And then Lydia, look how many actors, famous actors,
got
they
you now.
auditioned
Those Avengers, man.
it down. And she just like nailed the role so well.
It's pretty cool. So yeah, so to end it, he goes down there and he's rubbing on the girl's leg. He slaps him like, "Oh, I didn't see you there."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, look, 1 million, whatever his number is," and he's like, he looks at over the voodoo priest, and he's like, "Oh,
Hey, is that Elvis?
He takes the number 4 and he throws him the paper. He's like, "What the fuck? Like, how's that gonna work?" So the voodoo guy's like, "Really, motherfucker? You did that to me?" He takes a little bag and he's like, "Whoa, hey, whoa, hey!"
Wait, Voodoo Door? I thought that was Namor.
Oh.
Oh no, shots fired, Namor.
My earball just blew up again. Yeah, and then after that, we just the football players come out, dance with her, and it's a wrap and scene.
Yeah, freaking Kansas City Chiefs. Kaepernick takes a knee.
You got knee in the middle of the freeway. That's what they get run over.
Yeah.
Hey, coach, I think we didn't survive. Like, what do you think?
We gotta take a stance on this movie.
All right, guys, final thoughts on the movie. Starting with Cousin Neil.
Fun. It is a fun movie.
I thought the lack of Keaton in Beetlejuice, it was kind of weird. Like you see more of the shared time between the Adam and Barb versus Beetlejuice. Like, I don't know, he was just like a plot mover, I guess. Like, all right, we're stuck here. Bring him the juice man. All right, go back, juice man. Let's give him more story. Type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he was just checkpoint A, checkpoint B, you know, keep going. Story progression. It was like more, not all entirely like him. It's like comparing this to Halloween Ends. It's the same thing.
So is this how Cousin Neil feels, or is this how you feel, Juan?
This is how I feel. This is my
All right,
feeling.
man.
So I'm saying, like, you
So
know,
you wanted a more Beetlejuice movie.
I wanted a Michael
Beetlejuice.
Myers' Laurie Strode movie, and I got a Beetlejuice movie.
I gotta agree with him.
It's like, dude, where's my car? The car barely shows up at the end.
Yeah.
Well, in the cartoon, I barely remember the cartoon, but
He's in every
Every
motherfucker.
episode.
but do they talk more about him in the cartoon?
Yeah, but
The
it's like
backstory?
it's
Yeah.
like nonsense. It's like a
Nonsense.
fever dream of nonsense. But it's him and Lydia are like best friends, and they go on like
Adventures, right?
Adventures.
Something.
yeah.
Adventure.
Wait, did you get to watch the cartoon? Zombie?
Yes, but fever dream.
I when was it Kids WB? I think it was at the time.
Yeah.
They had it running,
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
and then after that, Fox picked it up. The last season.
But
I mean,
it's interesting because they portrayed him in the pinstripe suit, which he was barely in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's
Yeah.
how we know him. He was in that the whole thing in the cartoon.
oh, that's interesting that you wanted more Beetlejuice, because I didn't actually. Yeah, my mind never went there. Just, I always just saw the movie as its whole. All the characters. I didn't think Beetlejuice had a little bit of time, because I was interested in was it Barb and what's his name?
Adam.
Adam. Yeah.
Adam.
Really memorable characters.
Yeah.
Adam Baldwin.
And again with the whole dog in the way, like, dude, just stop, let the motherfucker pass, and all right, this movie don't exist.
Maybe
Dude,
run
that is
him
some other way.
you know?
Yeah, like in that situation, like, I'm sorry, like, you know,
That's a director's cut.
isn't that a saying though? Like, all right, do you go through a deer, or you let the deer go through you, or you don't stop, or you stop?
Well, it depends how far the deer is, you know, because sometimes we don't have a choice.
I know. See, I mean, we love animals, but yeah, watch your dogs.
I love venison too.
There you go. I went hunting. What happened? You jumped in front of me. Now I have a whole steak. Aye, guys. So, cousin,
A little bit of motor oil.
sheesh, your final thoughts? Or you did?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did already. Next.
Sorry. Neeks.
Beetlejuice.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like watching Halloween Ends. Like, it's sorry, spoilers ahead of you. Haven't seen a review or going to watch the movie. It's like the first act we see the side character, then becomes the main character, and then the main character just shows up when he wants to a little bit. Like, all right, you take the rest of the movie and I'll be back at the end, type of thing.
Let me bitch slap you and take your mask real quick. You little bitch.
Yeah, this reminds like you said earlier, Hitman. It's like The Mask, right? Beetlejuice and The Mask is very similar, but we didn't see The Mask that much in the movie, right?
That's right, yeah.
It was mostly about Stanley. What's his name? Ipkiss?
Stanley Ipkiss.
Yeah.
Yeah. About
More
Drew,
into
yeah.
his life.
Yep.
And Cameron.
But the times that
Diaz.
we did see him, The Mask, it was memorable. Right? It was all
It was.
animated and stuff.
Exactly.
Same with Beetlejuice. The time that he was on screen, it was very memorable.
Yeah. I totally felt the same way. That like Beetlejuice's scenes were very few but very impactful. And I feel like if he was in every scene, it'd just be like, God, this fucking guy again? Like,
Yeah, see, there's the question. Would it become annoying? You think?
Well, I mean, if you tone it down, you know, you wouldn't be
Well,
like,
if you tone it down.
If you're trying to tell a story, yeah, it
Nah.
would be annoying.
he would steal the scene from everybody and nobody
Exactly.
else would get a chance to act.
But that was the point, though, isn't it?
Clearly not, because they didn't
No.
do
I
that.
think that was the point.
It's a
yeah.
Beetlejuice movie.
Wow.
I think it was about the relationship between Barb and Adam.
Yeah.
You think a part 2 would be cool?
I would love to see more of him.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, literally more of them. Not 10 minutes here, then 5 minutes there, and then close it out.
Well, I mean, I think he served the movie good, you know, because he was kind of like an impedance for everybody.
You know what kind of premise I would like to see? If I could make a Beetlejuice movie, I'm just absolutely pulling this out of my ass. So it's probably going to be nonsense.
Bend over.
You'd be like the pineapple guy from Little Nicky, huh, Base?
Right. I'm just
No,
picturing.
it's like more of Austin Powers, you know, behind the tent with
All
the
right.
lighting.
So
Oh my
Russia
goodness.
did this cruise line where it costs like something like $1 million a year to live there or whatever, to own a condo, and it just exists on their oceans. So people live in these condos, and then Beetlejuice is like hired to excise all the living people from these condos. And so he just goes around and it's just like his general chaos in all these condos on the cruise liner. And I think that would be like general malarkey and hilarity from him.
Yeah. To be honest, if there was a live action series of Beetlejuice going on weekly adventures of exercising people, scaring people out of their homes and stuff, I'd be down.
We should do that, man.
Yeah.
We should make a series.
Like he has
like
a big project and he rolls up his sleeves on his pinstripe suit.
Yeah.
Go!
You watch him actually planning stuff.
Yeah, yes. I want to see, like, that's
that. Home
what
Alone and
told
shit.
me to Loki. I
Yeah.
was like, I want to see the mischief. You know, I want to see the shenanigans.
I want to see when he's on his break and he's smoking a cigarette. Yeah. No, to be honest, I would watch that. I think what you want a zombie, like I said, the cartoon, but I think it would be better if it was a series, something much longer.
Exactly. I hear you, brothers. Well, guys, that was our review of Beetlegeist or Beetlejuice or Beetlejuice.
Oh my!
Beet juice.
You get the
Jizz everywhere. Got Hitman bending over.
Oh my goodness.
What does this
Well,
show
wait,
become?
Wait, we can get Base's final thoughts on this.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you guys. I mean,
So is this Halloween ends?
sometimes I do want a little bit of more Beetlejuice, a little bit more beet juice.
You wanted the Beetlejuice?
But yeah, I agree with Neil, and as far as putting it into a show, and your idea as well, Hit. I think that's a great idea. I think they should do that. It would be
We should
cool,
do
you know,
that.
behind the murderers kind of style, you know, like his style,
Damn.
or you know. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Be like planning it like Home Alone and shit.
yeah, Home Alone style. Yeah, that'd be great.
Beetlejuice versus was it the people from The Conjuring? The couple.
Hey, Lorraine Warren.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like, you think you can get rid of me?
Just-
I know your name.
Jeremy, what's wrong with you?
Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
There you go.
I know your name.
Say it 2 more times.
Beetlejuice. Go back.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It's great. Either way.
That fool looks scarier in person, so.
You should kiss him.
That's what we said about you.
There you go. See? Just misunderstanding. Yeah, kiss him.
All right, watchers.
Alright, guys. This is getting a little out of the woods.
Alright, everybody.
Hey.
Oh my god. For cousin Neil.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. For the homie Bays, I am the pumpkin spice he's pumpkin spice, I'm the zombie. This has been the Scary Corner, the Watchers, the Zombie Show, Around the Marvel Podcast, and all those awesomeness is coming. Check out our Tickety Talk, the Watchers Pod. Check us out on Instagram at the Zombie Show, pending changing name. And so we're going to be on Twitch and everything else. So
We are on
tonight-
Twitch, the Watchers Pod. Tune in.
Good. Wait, _Watchers_pod. Yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Hit the underscores alive.
At earthlink.net.
Not Geo.
Till next time, much love. Peace.
Peace.
Sign up.